Good evening, my dear viewer. On tonight's review, we happen to continue with the Vincent Price collection, and we are going for a interesting one. Tonight's feature presentation is Masque of the Red Death from 1963. Following the fall of the House of Usher, Vincent Price plays a truly crazy person named Prince Promenero or something like that, and he is protecting people inside his castle, performing merrymaking to protect them from the Red Death. Now you're wondering, what is this Red Death? Oh boy, that's interesting right at the end. This one is a little bit campy, but also at the same time very colorful and vivid. To give an example, yes, Price does play this Pompanero character who is so evil, campy, and great, burns down an entire village just for the heck of it, and has a whole bunch of entertainment going on in which there's going to be an upcoming Masque, MASQUE /ball. And it's just like, okay, what's he going to do? He's going to save a woman. He's going to save a girl, and then the girl's uncle and father. That's like, okay, that's interesting. It's like, they shall provide some amusement. They shall provide some amusement. Yeah, more like that. So, yeah, what happens is, his Price is being gleefully over the top and wonderful, and I like it. Of course, this is a very colorful movie, so I'm thinking that Corman received a bigger budget, is able to hire some extras. But of course, the big scenes are inside 3 different rooms and the main ball area. There's some stuff that goes on here. Of course, it's like, hey, let's have all these people be a bunch of animals. Let's have one person be a worm. Let's have one person pretend to be a dog, and one woman, a woman who does, what does she do, oink or something like that. I don't know. It's just so bizarre and campy. You just have to love it. It is so good. It's just like, yes, and of course, yeah, you can even tell he looks like he's having a good time right there. It's just, to give you an idea of, like, what he wants to see is like, okay, because he wants the father and uncle, he wants the boyfriend and father to take one of their lives and how they refuse to. He instead plays, as I call it, the dagger game. There is one dagger that is impregnated with a poison that can bill someone in 5 seconds. So they each take a little time, take a knife, and then cut it on their forearm to see who's going to get poisoned first. They're really poisoned that was that intense back in the 1700s. I don't know. That's something to ponder. But anyway, yeah, it's done with just like this royal feast, and there are all these people who are protected, looking at all these peasants and everything, and it's just so. It's just haunting to look at. You just can't turn away from it, yeah, this is where there's more. I guess it's also a dark comedy, because of just how over the top and exaggerated everything is. And of course, this is taking from another Edgar Allan Poe short story. So they took the usual stuff, but then instead of having all the gothic, creepy atmospheres, this one's a heck of a lot more. What's the word? Party-ish would be the best way to describe it. I'm like, this is a nice change of pace. I like this. But also, who's this person that's dressed in red? What is the Red Death doing here? And it turns out that, Vincent Price is having having a grand old time pretending that he is going to be this great actor. Turns out he sold his soul a long time ago, and now he has to live with the consequences. Look, the quote, yeah. Look at this. Look into this face. Shudder at the blood-stained dance of the Red Death. Tremble to the hideous tortures of the catacombs of Kali. Grasp at the sacrifice of the innocent virgin to the victim of Baal. AIP presents Vincent Price and Edgar Allan Poe's immortal masterpiece, The Macabre, The Masque of the Red Death, and Peta Color, whatever that is. So yeah, everything just looks and wonders so great. But of course, it's the, it's like the costumes are great, the sets are great. It's just delightfully perverse in a right way. I like it. It got censored in the UK for a little bit for just some of the blood and religious themes and stuff like that, which actually does kind of say, yeah, the UK was a little bit. This was before the video nasties, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was at least a little bit of an inspiration for it. Oh man, yeah. One of the actresses, what was her name? Yeah, Jane Asher said, "Hey, I want this. My friend's an aspiring musician. Can he come and visit?" And he's like, "Sure." Go around. It wasn't until the next day that Roger Corman heard of Paul McCartney when they had their first performance. So he had no idea that he had a Beatles member on the set until it was mentioned next day in the newspapers that this band performed the concert, which is so great. And of course, we gotta go with the liner notes. The Masque of the Red Death is considered by many to be the finest of all the Poe films starring Vincent Price. It may as well be one of the finest horror movies ever made, considering the quality in front and behind the camera with the gifted Nicholas Roeg, photography and the colorful sets provided by, among others, Danny Haller, who flew over to help with the production, uncredited. Price as Prince Prospero, gives a subtle for him performance, showing yet again just what a consummate performer he was. Hazel Court, a scream queen of the First Order, recalled this about filming The Mask. I love making this film so much because he has such marvelous people on both sides of the camera. Jane Asher was dating one of the Beatles at the time, and we were having such a good time till word reached the set that the president had been shot. Roger closed the set for the day. We all went home. Vincent told me he never felt so far from home that day. My scene, which I gave myself to the devil, was quite an experience since I chose to wear nothing under my gown. Nicky Roeg and I flirted with each other as we filmed this for the time erotic moment on camera. Although by today's standards it is nothing, but it was censored at the time and it's removed for its run in the UK. Yeah, it was certainly interesting. It's the classic showcase for Vincent Price, since his star power by this time was such that audiences loved him as much as his larger-than-life mannerisms as far as acting chops, which were considerable. He invests such charisma and charm as Prospero that it's easy to see him how a young girl like Jane Asher's character could be converted to Satan by so majestic of a man. I do have to admit, yes. She eventually does convert, because just the legendary nature of it, and I'm like, dang. And of course, as another example, he has the remaining villagers who are begging for sanctuary from the cold and everything. Has the ushers just bill the rest of them, except for like a child or something like that. And it's just, ooh, it is not pretty. And like all the while everything's happening, what is a truly great finale is that the red hooded figure turns out represents anthrax. As one that was the pestilences or something. It's right there in Wikipedia. Goes around and he sees that, like, who is underneath this mask. Turns out that it was Price himself, who stole his soul a long time ago. So he goes through 3 different colored rooms: yellow, black, and yellow, red, and black. Yellow, black, and red. And it's just so vibrant. But you see all these hooded figures that are, what is it, Satan's messengers or envoys or something, and it's just so good. And then the tarot cards with the credits and everything, Ooh, this one is just so delightful. That, dear viewer, is what it will make you think about it. This movie is not boring. It is very entertaining, a little bit campy because of just all the merrymaking going on, but that doesn't stop it from the last, as usual with these Corman films, the last 20 minutes from being so great. You gotta give it credit and respect. So yeah. So that, dear viewer, brings us to the end of yet another review. So if you ever get the chance, check out The Mask of the Red Death.